Of all the years watching football, I've never heard of a franchise quarterback and a head coach not talking for 8 to 10 weeks during the season. This is dysfunction at its finest, and I hope they treat Jalen Hurts a lot better. Yo, everybody, how you doing? King Dingbat here. So today we have come. What the hell is that? It's a big ass dog. Dallas still stinks. Yo, everybody doing? King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a good Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. So it is the day after the Carson Wentz trade. It's the day after, and I'm going to be honest, I am going to bare my soul with you guys, okay? Yesterday was a hard day for me. It was a hard day for me because, as many of you guys know, I'm a Carson Wentz fan. I make no apologies about it. I like the kid. I think he still has a lot of talent. I still think he could return to 2017 form if you put the right players around him, the right coach, you kind of fix his head. I think it's possible. And so does Frank Reich. That's why he traded for him. And if Frank Reich thinks, hey, we could fix this guy, we can get him back, then why, in my opinion, I always think, why can't the Eagles do that, okay? Doug Pederson is now gone. We're never going to really know if this coach could do it or not. We'll find out if Frank Reich can. But it was a hard day for me. I had this bad feeling in my stomach all day, in my gut all day. It just was bothering me. And as an Eagle fan, I've probably only felt this a half a dozen times. When Reggie White left, I felt it. When Jerome Brown died, I felt it. When my favorite quarterback of all time, Randall Cunningham, he left, and then he goes to Minnesota, wins MVP, I felt it. When Seth Joyner and Clyde Simmons, I believe they both left at the same time for Arizona, I felt it. When Brian Dawkins left, I felt it. And then I felt it yesterday. Because I believe that this 28-year-old franchise quarterback still has something left. Now, he had his faults, he had his problems. He apparently was stubborn. All those kind of things are out there, you know. Some of it, I got to be honest with you, a lot of it I don't believe. I don't just believe these rumors are always coming out about how he's this, how he's that. If he's so bad, why was he willing to take him back? I think sometimes these things get overblown, especially when a team is letting a player go. There's a lot of stories that come out negative about that player so that they look good. Remember what they did with Deshaun Jackson, saying he was in gangs and stuff. So these things happen, okay? And at the end of the day, it really came down to this, in my opinion, that the owner of this team had to make a decision. Howie Roseman or Carson Wentz. Because by a lot of accounts, if Howie left, Carson would have been okay. He was okay with everybody else. It was him. It was Howie. And the owner showed us who the most valuable person in this franchise is, who's more important than a franchise quarterback, who's more important than a head coach, who's more important than however many head coaches. Howie Roseman, the most important person in this franchise, according to Jeffrey Lurie, I guess. He has Howie vision, right? Howie vision, he's sitting there changing everything around every day, and Jeffrey Lurie is like this. He don't know, where am I? How did I get here? Who are you? How did he get there? He don't know what's going on. I don't think he sees what's happening. There's a lot of dysfunction on this team. There was a lot of dysfunction on this team. I mean, we just hear reports today from Adam Schefter that Carson Wentz and Doug Pederson didn't speak for 8 to 10 weeks during the regular season. I've never heard of that. How does a franchise quarterback and a coach, two guys married at the hip who careers are connected, how do they not talk for 8 to 10 weeks? And how does one of them not go and squash the beef and work it out? Especially the head coach, who is the general of the team. He is the head coach. He's in charge of everybody. It falls on him first. Now he's gone, but it isn't good enough for Carson because he don't trust the GM either. He don't trust the coach or the GM. I don't blame him on not trusting the GM. I really don't. The guy promised you weapons and gave you nothing. Promised you weapons, gave you nothing. Then he sits there and he drafts your replacement. Of course, that night they drafted Hurts. The countdown, it was over. It was over for Carson Wentz, okay? And Carson has other reasons. I mean, you know, I was thinking about this today. He played on a broken back, if you remember. They misdiagnosed his back for months. They couldn't diagnose the right thing. So all these things lead up to Carson Wentz not trusting the organization. He is gone now. And I only say all that to say this. Jalen Hurts is now the quarterback, or at least he should be the quarterback. I hope to God that this front office, this organization, has learned their lessons on how not to treat your franchise quarterback. They can write papers and books on how not to treat a franchise quarterback on the Eagles and their treatment and how they treated Wentz. Now, some of you, I know, you're going to say, well, Carson was this, Carson was that. He's gone. He's gone. Okay, what I'm concerned about now is Jalen Hurts. I want him to succeed. I want him to be a franchise quarterback. That is the quickest way for this Eagle team to be great again. Okay, to be good again. That's it. And let me tell you something. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is a franchise quarterback. Okay, he's only played, 4 games? I need to see more of him. And this whole year coming up to me is about evaluating Jalen Hurts and finding out what you have. Is he a franchise quarterback? That's going to be the key. That's why when I hear, hey, the Eagles may take a quarterback at 6, which I do think is possible. Don't put it past this team to do it. Don't put it past them, but I wouldn't do it. And I hope they don't do it, because I think at that point you're treating Jalen Hurts just like you treat Carson Wentz. I keep calling him Wentz now. Wentz, because it's a mistake. Okay? We have to find out what we have in Hurts, like it or not. That's the quickest way to rebound. And look, if he's bad, if he's not the franchise quarterback, guess what? We're going to have a bad record, and we're going to draft high, and we can take a quarterback at that point. But I think he has to be given the opportunity. And I know maybe they won't draft a quarterback, but they're going to sign a veteran quarterback in, somebody to come in and compete with him. My point is this. Why would you do that? I mean, I understand competition is good, and I'm all for competition, but when you had Carson and him, it was 2 guys that could be a franchise quarterback. Whoever you bring in is not going to be a guy that is franchise quarterback. Most likely he's just a journeyman. He's just somebody looking for work. So to me, just bring in a decent backup and go with Jalen Hurts, and let's see what he has. That's how I would do it. Get him weapons in the draft. Get him weapons, and I say weapons, I don't just mean receivers. Get him offensive line help if you have to. Get him the players that he needs around him so he can succeed, so we can make an accurate prediction, or, whatever the hell it is. I can't think right now, but, so we can make an accurate projection on whether he's a franchise quarterback or not. That's what we got to do, to start playing these games where we're going to bring in somebody in free agency, and he's going to compete and possibly be the starting quarterback. To me, what's that good for? We're going to go 8-8, 9-7, pick in the 20s, and then you still need a quarterback a few years down the road? Let's see what we got in this kid. If you go 8-8, 9-7 with Jalen Hurts, that's a lot better than going, 8-8, 9-7, bringing Alex Smith or whoever. So to me, this whole season's now about Jalen Hurts, and it's about not doing the same stupid things that you did with Carson Wentz that ran him out, that made him lose confidence, that made him want to leave. I don't believe all these stories I hear about Carson. I gotta tell you, that's another thing. I don't believe all these things. This guy is this bad guy. He's this, he's that. He's a horrible. He's a jerk. He had to go. We had to get rid of this jerk. Those things all happen when a team divorces from a player. They did it with Deshaun Jackson. It is what it is. And look, I'm past the Wentz thing now. I moved past it. There's nothing I can do. We didn't get what I wanted, but I didn't think we were going to get much anyways. But it's over. It's time to move on. It's time to go to Jalen Hurts. And now my concerns are Carson Wentz, those mistakes that were made can't be made with Jalen Hurts. The Eagles need to give this kid a shot. And they need to give him a fair shot. Don't do things that undermine him or that put more pressure on him, like drafting a quarterback at 6. Now, I will say this in fairness. I haven't watched a lot of Trey Lance. I haven't watched a lot of Zach Wilson. We'll be doing that. And I don't know that I'm going to fall in love with those guys so much that I'm like, you got to take him over Jalen Hurts. Maybe I will. But I at this point, I don't see it happening. And if they do draft a quarterback at 6, then you should trade Hurts. Then just trade him. Don't waste his time. But we can't fall into the same trap and the same dysfunction as we did under Carson, because it's going to lead to the same thing. I don't care who the quarterback is. Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, deserves the shot this year. If he's not the franchise quarterback, it's going to be a long year. We're going to have a tough season, but at least we're going to have a high pick, and we're going to know this isn't the guy. I don't mind bringing in a decent backup. I just don't want to bring in anybody that has a real shot. If they were somebody that could be a real franchise quarterback, okay, then let them both compete. I like that. But bringing in somebody for a year or two and then letting him be a starter because he beats out Hurts, to me, doesn't work. Got to go with Hurts. We got to give him the opportunity. Now, the next trade I expect to happen is Zach Ertz. I don't think Ertz is going to be here long. I don't know what the Eagles are going to get for him. I don't know if they can get anything for him. And the reason I say that is because a lot of teams are assuming that if they don't trade him, they're going to cut him. So when a player's going to get cut, why would you trade anything for him of significance? So the Eagles might have screwed this whole thing up too. The biggest problem on this team remains, and it's not going to change until Howie Roseman is fired, and that is the incompetence of the GM. Not only to draft players, but he can't do contracts. I know a lot of people say, well, he's a contract guy. He's a contract guy. Well, he's the reason we have no cap money. So how could he be a contract guy? Howie Roseman has to go. That is the number one problem on this team. The number one issue on this team, the GM. He's got to go. He doesn't have to. He can stay in the organization and not be the GM, but you need a real talent, a real football guy running that team, okay? That's how I see it. And as long as he's here, we have the same problem. It doesn't go away because Carson's gone. It's still here. And my fear now is that they're going to do the same things to Jalen Hurts that they did to Carson Wentz. And that's unfair to Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. With that said, I feel better. I had to get that off my chest. You know what I mean? You might see me in another video later today. It depends if my stupid face, my dingbat self, has something to say. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.